Shelby Township's police and fire departments are some of our most visible departments to the public. You'll see them when they're needed. You'll see them when they're being proactive. And you'll see them doing what they do best, being engaged members of our community. But those are the departments you'll see now.
When I got on, there was 5 of us. The chief and one day man. 3 of us worked afternoons. There was no midnight shift.
Clendon Dick Mason was the early era of the Shelby Township Police Department, hiring on in 1956.
The first car I got into was a 55 Ford, and it had about, well, had 100,000 miles on it, but it felt like 400,000 going on. We didn't beat it up, it just did it by itself.
After nearly 30 years with the department, he has stories, lots and lots of stories. But today, he's amazed with how much has changed.
These guys that are working now, I can see why they have so many on the road. I mean, there's a lot of the same area to cover, but it's full. A lot of people.
A lot of people expecting and deserving of top-notch public safety. That's exactly why our current board of trustees is embracing and supporting change. So yes, there's a lot to see in the public. Obvious examples are the expansion of the police department and the new fire station number 4. But there's innovative changes behind the scenes as well. Our fire department provides critical services like hazmat, swift water rescue and dive teams for all of Macomb County. We also have a technical response team ready for challenging rescues. But on top of that, these men and women have to know their chemistry.
Because you think back in the day, yep, water puts out fire. But now everything is synthetic, it's made, it's full of chemicals, and it burns hotter, it burns faster, it has lower ignition temperatures. It's a science that we have to really keep up with.
On the police department side, changes are exponential. Our officers now wear body cams. Our dash cams can be viewed live from police headquarters, and we have a cadet program.
Young people like what they see. They want to be part of this exciting thing we have going on in our police department. And so far we've hired 7 people, have transitioned to police officers. I'm very excited about the program, and it looks in the next 6-7 months we're going to be hiring 7 more out of our cadet program.
2 of our newest pieces of technology have been game changers, starting with a true narc machine, a safe and scientific way to identify drugs.
So we'll start this up. So now we have a powder, it's already in a bag, and it shoots the lasers through. That substance came back positive for cocaine.
Before, when we would make arrests of drug suspects, we'd have to release them and have the Michigan State Police analyze the drugs. Okay, who wants to go out and literally you're exposing yourself to all kinds of dangers by arresting the druggie types and then watching them walk out the door and not get taken back into police custody sometimes for over a year.
We also have what's called a Faro Focus, a state-of-the-art machine to document accidents or scenes. That's the envy of other cities.
This is a 3D scanner. The laser shoots on this prism, and this prism spins. Actually, the laser's shooting out at 1,000,000 points a second. So there's a lot of data that gets stored on these. This affords us exact locations of everything. So what we can do is we can actually, at any time, we can go back to that scene, whether it be a crash or, like I said, in a house for a homicide. It's almost like going back in time.
But physical expansions and new equipment pale in comparison to a monumental shift in how these teams operate when lives are at risk.
Police Department, search warrant!
4 years ago, the Shelby Township Police Department began a tactical response unit charged with handling difficult and sensitive matters when they arise. Their training really never ends, but the most intense training happens each summer at Camp Grayling. But notice, police officers are not the only ones here.
There's a big change coming industry-wide.
We're right here, I don't know, would we drag to the door or would we not?
Dennis Brantley is a firefighter and medic for Shelby Fire. When it comes to active shooter situations, he and his colleagues have attended conferences, scoured over data, and looked at best practices. They collectively determined that best practices aren't. They realize that they can no longer wait in safe zones when people are dying.
We want to get on, attack the patient with all of our bleeding control measures within a minute or two, because they can bleed out within less than a minute.
Carrying this guy out. I need security.
So, instead of waiting for someone to train them with something new, they're doing it themselves.
This is going to be tough. We're going to have to get him out of here if he's going to have a chance.
Now, Shelby Township has a rescue task force and a tactical emergency medical service team that will go into a dangerous situation when the danger is still there.
Instead of staging and waiting for people to die, we're actually trying to go in with the police, assisting them on their raids so we can get some care in there quicker.
People were not dying from the gunshot wound, but they were bleeding to death because help couldn't get in there.
Our fire guys are really receptive to training, and it's gone very smoothly so far, and they enjoy it, and they want to be here.
And notice, carrying a weapon might become necessary for some of these medics, but the goal is to get those who can help to those who need it as fast as possible.
Because that's what we signed up for, is to save lives. So we may be in a dangerous situation and we're still going to have to take care of it. We go into burning buildings, so it's just shifted into now bullets instead of fire.
If I can look at somebody in the face and say, I can get you help right now, and mean it, even though there's chaos going all around me, they can feel that. One life, just one, will feel better.
This has to happen. Our main focus and our main priority has always been saving lives.